Barnes, please secure the doors. Each year during our state convention, we pause to honor those legionnaires and veterans who have preceded us to the post everlasting. It is through their inspiration that we continue onward, fulfilling the obligations we feel for one another. Thank you for being here this morning and paying tribute to those men and women who have served our state and nation so well. Please, you already rise. Please, we'll now sing the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, got the twilight's last gleaming, and brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous light, o'er the ramparts they watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ramped where that was bursting in air, gave truth through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, kiss that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. You may be seated. At this time, I call upon members of the 99 Club and past Department Commander Larry Lowry, who was asked by the 99 Club to fulfill the role played by the late past Department Commander Harold Epley.
Thank you, Commander. Welcome, fellow veterans and fellow citizens. For many years, we have paused during our state convention proceedings to honor and remember those who gave their lives for our nation. While we have great monuments dedicated to Hoosier veterans, it is only through the personal remembrance and understanding of their sacrifice that we can ensure our future freedoms. By recalling the supreme sacrifice of others, those of us enjoying the liberties of the United States can rededicate our lives to continued noble purposes. Through remembrance, we are forced to recall the lessons of history past. And through remembrance, we are reminded that our younger generations deserve to know the lessons of the past. We must ensure that the thousands of Hoosiers who gave their lives can rest eternal, knowing the cause has not been abandoned. For we continue our quest for peace, freedom, and service to God and country through our Legion lives and work. We rededicate ourselves to ensuring the security of the widows and orphans of these veterans, and indeed all veterans who need our helping hand. Department Commander Jim May and Auxiliary President Peggy Bishop, please advance and place a memorial wreath I ask those of you in attendance today to join me in silence with bowed heads in memory of those who have made the supreme sacrifice and have answered the call of the great commander of all divisions. I now call on President Bishop for her remarks.
Symbolic of the simple resting place of one who has served our country is the white cross, surmounted by the helmet which you see in front of me. Physically, it is a key element in a temporary shrine. Spiritually, those of us viewing it today will retain its memory as long as such remembrances remains part of our being. Centered in the temporary shrine is a symbol of the vessel of light, excluding its flame of the eternal existence of the spirit of man. By the symbolism of the eternal flame of life, we today make known to all nations of the earth the faith of the American people in the Creator, through whose guidance and solitude this great country has come into being. As long as we, his people, walk in his path and obey his precepts, the future of our beloved land is assured. On the other side of the symbolic flame of eternal life rises the flag of an unbeatable and imperishable America. Proudly it waves its majestically donating defiance to its common foes of evil and aggression. It was a privilege and duty of the patriotic Americans being memorialized today to lay down their lives in the service of the United States of America. By such sacrifice, they likewise served in a worldwide sense the hundreds of millions of their fellow men who seek to preserve the freedoms as they know such blessings in their own countries and communities. Thus, our tribute today is more than merely recognition of service to country alone. Encompassed within its observance is the knowledge that they who embodiment of spirit rest before us contributed their lives to the service of all mankind. With some light paraphrasing, the Requiem of Robert Louis Stevenson portrays better than any words of mine the spirit of the veterans whose souls and deeds we memorialize here today. Under the wide and starry sky, dig the grave and let me lie. Glad did I live and gladly die and lay me down with a will.
It is now my privilege to present the Department Commander Jim May for eulogy. Commander?
Your cover, please. Words may not heal the remorse of having a lost son, daughter, husband, neighbor, or friend. But we can review their lives for those who have given so greatly for our country. We can bear the pride in their service to the nation and to know that from their ultimate sacrifice, our lives have progressed. To those who served and died over there, the many who have perished in the Second Great War, the soldiers of Port Chop Hill and Inchon, the veterans who fought for ideals in Vietnam, the veterans of Beirut, Grenada, Panama, and those who died to serve and who are serving now in the Persian Gulf. Indeed, all veterans have given to the nation a chance for a new life. That new life is evident in our existence today, for we're not crawling under the rule of Nazism. We do not worship a pretender emperor god. We are not the subjects to the whims of religious tyranny. Our nation continues to be the flagship of freedom for the planet Earth. We retain our rights for the Constitution. Our citizens honor God in their own way. We enjoy freedoms that are little thought of in the daily lives, and yet they would be sorely missed if they were suddenly gone. So it is to those men and women, these veterans of the past, to our veterans of the future, that we turn our thoughts to thanks. We give thanks for all that we gave thanks for, that the America has been and will be known in our hearts, that it is through their service and sacrifice that our future will continue to be bright under the domestic rule of people. The citizens of the entire world are the debtors of our nation's veterans for that we have given.
Thank you, Commander. Commander, it is also my sad duty to report that we have lost many members amongst our ranks during this past year. Honoring their memory, we will now conduct our post-everlasting ceremony. I would ask all present to remain silent. The brazier being in place, the equipment for the ceremony being in place, we will proceed. This moment is sacred, with almost visible presence of those who have gone before. We come to honor the memories of those who offered their lives in the sacrifice of their country and who are now enrolled in the great spiritual army, whose footfalls cause no sound, but whose souls in the memory of man go marching on, sustained by the private service in time of war. Because of them, our lives are free. Because of them, our nation lives. And because of them, this world is blessed. May this service strengthen our reverence of our departed comrades. Harold Robbie Robertson, will you please place a symbolic American Legion cap on the rifles? This is in remembrance of our departed comrades in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, all the armed forces that were represented. I will now ask Comrade Chaplain Norris Kearns to please offer prayer.
Shall we be in an attitude of prayer? O gracious and loving Commander of the universe, it was you who first gave us the breath of life, and at your command, you call us home. We thank you for these valiant men and women who we so recognize this day, who answered their country's call to serve and were willing to lay their lives down for the sake of their nation and for your sake, that others might experience freedom in their lives. We thank you that they not only served their country, but they continued to serve their community, state, and nation through their association in the American Legion and Legion family. And we honor them, and we remember their presence with us in the post. We remember their presence with us in our conferences and our conventions. We remember their leadership and their guidance, and we thank you. And we remember today their families who mourn and grieve over their loss. But we're thankful that we are a people of hope who serve you, our great commander, and we know that you have prepared a place for us. And we thank you that you will take care of us through all eternity. Bless those who have served and been called home. Bless those who remain, that they would be strengthened in their time of mourning. And may we always give you honor and glory, for it is in your holy name that we ask and we pray. Amen.
Comrade John Babala, please transmit this letter containing the service and Legion records of our departed comrade to Post Everlasting. And salute. wish to thank you on behalf of the 99 Club for allowing its members to conduct this memorial service again this year. They are just the latest in a long line of Legionnaires who have been privileged to conduct this service. The 99 Club, all officers who served with past Department Commander Harold Epley, inherited this privilege from the 71 Club. The officers who served with Commander Dale Kuhn, who joined the procession to Post Everlasting just a little more than a decade ago. It is particularly bittersweet to recall both Commanders Kuhn and Epley. They showed us the way we honored to walk in their very large footsteps. Commander, this concludes our memorial service.
Have a good one, Chief. Thank you, Larry. We're going to take a few minutes and then we'll. The convention will come to order. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. Sergeant at Arms, please secure the door. Please salute the colors. 1, 2. I now call upon Department Chaplain Kern for an invocation. Chaplain Kern.
Let us again be in an attitude of prayer. Eternal and gracious God, indeed this is the day that you have made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. It's a day of celebration as we honor youth, as we honor those who have done great things across our state. It is our privilege to recognize and honor these persons who you have led to our awareness, and we thank you for all those who have worked hard for that. As we gather this great morning, we are mindful of those 15 Marines and 1 sailor who went down in the C-130, and we are mindful that the tragedy of armed services is that more people die in tragic accidents than in combat, yet their death is no less violent, and their sacrifice is as great. And we are mindful of those families who mourn the loss. Watch over all of our troops while we gather at this meeting, especially those in harm's way, and we'll give you glory. Now preside over our meeting, give guidance to our commander and those who will be a part of the program. May we give you glory in all that we do, for it is in your divine and holy name that we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Kern, not only for your... Who? Well, what are we going to do? Well, you want me to read his name or read this? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the first award today was designed to honor members of the Indiana General Assembly for outstanding service and commitment to issues of special concern. I now call to the podium Mark Gillian for his comments.
This one.
That's what he said.
Good morning. Thank you, Commander. Ladies and gentlemen, first award today was designed to honor members of the Indiana General Assembly for outstanding service and commitment to issues of special concerns to Hoosier veterans. We have been blessed as citizens to have many outstanding public servants over the years, and this is no exception. Our 2017 Distinguished Public Service Award to our very deserving members of the General Assembly. Since their inception, these awards have been among the most highly prized Legion honors. Just like in previous years, selecting this year's honorees was not easy. But I am absolutely sure that the legislators we are about to honor are well deserved of this award. These state legislators went above and beyond to work with our organization and a number of other veterans organizations over the last years to accomplish amazing things during the 2017 Indiana General Assembly legislative session. We are privileged to have them with us today and very proud to work with them and the work that they have done and continue to do for Hoosier veterans. Before I introduce them, would the Legislative Committee Chairman, Darrell Hansel, join the Commander on the lower platform, and I will read to you the inscriptions of the award. Here. The inscriptions read, the American Legion, Department of Indiana Distinguished Public Service Award. In recognition of the distinguished and honorable service as statesman, a proven leader of the Indiana General Assembly, a proponent of classical values and unwavering advocate for Hoosier veterans and their family. July 2017, and the citation is signed by the Department Commander May. As I call your name, will you please join the Department Commander on the lower stage to accept your award. You'll be given an opportunity to say a few words about your work and your family. The first award goes to State Senator Michael Crider, representing Indiana State Senate District 28, covering portions of our department's 10th and 11th district. Senator Crider has a proven record of supporting veterans and their family in the Indiana General Assembly. This past session, Senator Crider authored a key bill which passed the Indiana General Assembly and was signed into law by the governor. Senate Enrolled Act 382 is intended to help locate our state veterans and spouses so that the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs can capture more information regarding veterans and surviving spouses throughout the state. This legislation is intended to help better identify where our veterans and surviving spouses are in the state. This information is crucial to the best posture of our resources and better serve those veterans in our community throughout the state. Senator Crider is a strong supporter of veterans and their families and he has the voting record to prove that. He is a true friend to the veteran and to the veteran's family. Senator, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. This is a special award to receive for me. I spent 30 years of my work life. I was not in the military, but at age 21, I hired as an Indiana conservation officer and spent 30 years of my life working in kind of a paramilitary organization. And I developed a strong respect for what veterans did. Several of my colleagues had served in various conflicts. My dad served in Korea, and so working with veterans has been kind of a natural transition to me when I was elected into the Senate in 2012. I very much enjoy working with your legislative team and the folks that bring issues to us to advocate for. As was mentioned, I serve on the Veterans Affairs and the Military Committee. I'm ranking member in the Senate, and I look forward to working with your folks in the future. I don't think we can ever do enough to take care of those that have served us. So thank you very much. I appreciate this award very much. It's special.
Our next Distinguished Public Service Award goes to State Senator Karen Tillian. She represents the Indiana Senate District 4, spanning across portions of the department's 1st and 3rd districts in the area and in the areas around Lake Michigan. The senator has proven record of supporting many military and veteran issues and helping veterans and their families across the state through her legislative efforts. She has a strong record of support in many other impactful social realms, such as environmental and health and educational concerns. The senator has consistently pushed the importance of studying cannabis and other dangerous addictive drugs prescribed to countless Hoosier veterans and citizens alike. She truly has compassion for Hoosier citizens and families in her heart, which she reflects through her work. We thank you, Senator, for your support to the Hoosier veterans and their family and all the efforts you put forth. Senator, the floor is yours.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have to say there are a lot of us over at the State House that, you know, try to work hard and do the right thing. So when I got this call, I was really honored, a little surprised, but really honored. Thank you. When you become a member of the armed services, you truly make a commitment to this country, and not only to your friends and neighbors, but to strangers. And so when people come back, return from military service, you know, some people come back easy, some people come back hard, some people come back damaged. And for those people, we owe a special commitment to try to do whatever we can to help make your lives easier. I hope we can do that over at the State House. I know I try to do that. I'm not on the Veterans Committee, but I am on appropriations. So we do try. Thank you so much for this award. I am really honored. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations to both senators, and thank you, Commander, for allowing me to announce these very deserving recipients.
Thank you. Our next group of guests all work for Hoosier veterans and their families every day. because they work, because of their work in their departments, they do sure to ensure that the families are covered at every turn. Next, it's my pleasure to have the National 40 and 8 Correspondent National, Patrick Mobley. Patrick. Well, I guess right now, you all heard me talking about the Big Four. I'm going to have the Big Four come up here. We're going to have the DAV, the VFW, the AMVETS, and of course I'm here. These are their state commanders. Please come forward.
Commander would ask me to introduce these folks. First, DAV, 2016-17 DAV Department of Indiana Commander Jerry Fivecoat. AMVETS, we've got the current AMVETS Department of Indiana Commander Kenny Burton. In VFW, we've got the 2016-2017 VFW Department of Indiana Commander Jerry Blake. This year in legislation, the teams from these four organizations worked very hard to push veterans issues, veterans legislation through. Specifically, since 1954, the largest veteran service organizations of the state had split a sum of approximately $110,000 since 1954. That amount was never raised. We brought it to the attention of our legislators and asked the leadership of the state not only to increase their contributed funding to the work that our organization does on their behalf, but for the largest providers of the veteran service in the state, specifically the Big Four organizations. The idea of sharing increased funding was to spread the work across the network and assist our veterans better than ever. Our goal is that overall service to veterans will increase, and we will posture ourselves to be a complex network of veteran service organizations. We will help more veterans whose lives may seem like they're spiraling out of control and assist veterans in the areas from the VA medical services to filing service-related claims. Our goal is service to one another. Not one veteran should ever be left behind to fight alone. That is our mission. This year in the House Enrolled Act 1001, we were allocated $200,000 in the biennial budget. And we will sign that right now.
Thank you.
All of the organizations receive similar contracts for the allocated monies.
President Dagley take this grant agreement under the signature, ensure that the contents are complete, and sign your name to attest that.
Well, Mr. Commander, I can assure you that I have been over this document with a fine-tooth comb, as my responsibilities suggest, and I think that this is probably one of the most significant achievements of the combined power of the veteran service organizations in this state. I am hugely proud to have the opportunity to sign this, and I am hugely grateful to all of you for the things that you did to make this happen. There are great things ahead for this state's veterans, believe me. Thank you. Here's your pin back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right here. Yeah. I thank everyone here for our partnership in our organizations who helped make this happen. And they all deserve a huge round of applause. Gentlemen, if you'd like to come up to the podium, say a few words, just come on up.
It's a privilege to be here and with you all today. I just want to touch a little bit on the Big Four. As your commander has stated, this year I believe that for the first time since we got together a few years ago that we've really been united. The commanders, the other members of the group all decided at the start that we would be unified in what we went after. Our legislative team done a tremendous job. And believe me, when you see those members of your organizations, be sure you thank them, because with this increase that they got us in our funding will definitely help and increase the work that we can do for the veterans of this great state of ours. Thank you.
Good morning. I bring you greetings from the veterans of foreign wars from the great state of Indiana. We are really just the people that sign these legislative bills and push them through. The people that actually do the hard work are people like Lisa Wilkins. Would you stand up, please? And I thank those are the only two we have. These are the legislators. These are the ones boots on the ground that get out there and push everything. And then all we have to do is make the decisions in the end. So our job is kind of easy. You know, they do the hard work and everything. We really appreciate what they do. Again, on behalf of the VFW, I'm glad to be here this morning. Jim, it's coming to a close, buddy. You're almost done. Jared, we are done. Kenny, good luck. Thank you.
I want to thank y'all for allowing me to speak today as the AMVETS Department of Indiana Commander. Men and women have donned the uniform of our military in service of our great country since before we became a country. Their service earned them the honored label veteran. There are many in this room that belong to several service organizations that have one goal in common: to support our fellow veterans. This is the very idea that each and every one of us in this room have dedicated our very heart and soul to. We are dedicated to support our brothers and sisters, no matter where they are or what they need. They have done or are doing their service to our country in its time of need. It shall not go unnoticed, and it is imperative that we are there in their time of need. To that end, the service organizations, such as ours, have joined together to form a cohesive force to ensure that our veterans do not take a back seat in this great country. The efforts that we have put forth in the last decade or so is becoming apparent to the citizens of our country. Our voice is being heard from the local level of government to the state government and deeply involved in the national political scene. Our voice can be heard in the great halls of our Congress all the way down Pennsylvania Avenue to the office of our Commander-in-Chief. This past presidential election, we observed our voice addressing both the Democratic and Republican conventions on several levels. Both candidates, when traveling across the country, spread our message while seeking that office. Our message has been powerful and well received by our fellow Americans. Your effort and sacrifice is the reason this is occurring. We are seeing that the veterans' issues are being addressed by those we elected to lead our country. We see reform in medical, education, as well as the overall well-being of our veterans being addressed. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. But our fight for our brothers and sisters in uniform is not over, and we shall continue to provide for our veterans and seek ways to ensure that their needs are met every day. Your dedication to this goal shall never perish, and we shall always be here for each other. God bless each and every one of you, our men and women serving this great country, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Gary Coley, I'd like to introduce you also. Would you please stand? Kevin, I'm sorry. I apologize, I'm bad on names.
Thank you, guys. You can leave the podium, and I thank you for coming on this. Again, as I said, this is what we've worked hard for. We've got through the legislature. We just need to keep it up with the next group of commanders coming forward and the legislative body. And our legislative guy that works in here besides Will is Kenny Cooper. Kenny, stand up. He's helped out a lot here. Okay, now I'm ready. Oh, why didn't he come at the... All right, I'll go back. Okay, at this time we have Patrick Mobley of the 40 and 8. Let's welcome him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I seem to have caused a little confusion. I ran to the head and lost my spot. So I appreciate your patience. Commander May, thank you very much for the invitation. The Chef de Schmidt firm, Mark Moots, sends his regards all the way from the great state of Alabama and regrets that he is unable to be with you today. On his behalf, he sent me all the way from 38th Street to personally welcome you to the 98th Annual Department Convention. As you well know, the 40 and 8 and the American Legion share a long tradition and history together. While not one of the big four, we are certainly one of the big four's little brother. We share common goals, beliefs, programs, and challenges. Like the American Legion, the 48 is confronting a time of many challenges, and we're addressing these challenges during a time of greater nationwide need for the types of support and assistance that we provide to our fellow veterans, their families, and the communities in which we serve. This year, the 48 has continued our long-standing effort to train our nation's next generation of nurses by awarding tens of thousands of dollars in education grants through both our local Voitures and through the national level through our Bowen Nurses Training Trust. Additionally, our members have worked very hard to raise and disperse funds in support of our nation's youth via our child welfare program, providing direct grants to children in crisis as a result of natural disasters, floods, fires, that sort of thing, as well as through our youth sports program, believing that no child should be denied the right to play due to lack of funds. Also, ever mindful of the sacrifice of our nation's POWs, MIAs, last year we awarded 22 education scholarships to POW and MIA families. We expect to maintain or increase that level of support in the coming years. Like you, I'm a Legionnaire, first, last, and always. This is an exciting time for both of our organizations as we continue to adapt to the challenges we face, remaining always responsive to the needs of those we serve. We should all be very proud of where we are today and excited about where we're headed. But there are many more veterans and their families out there that need our help. There is much more work yet to do, and I thank you for undertaking that effort. Before I close, I'd like to thank each of you for attending this convention and taking this opportunity to consecrate and sanctify our comradeship by your devotion to mutual helpfulness. You as Legion leaders have the vision, the knowledge, the means, and the experience to pave our way into the future. You are truly the Legion's greatest asset, and the Legion could not accomplish all that it does without your support and leadership. Throughout this convention and throughout the coming year, I invite you to stay engaged, be proactive, and help shape the future of the American Legion in Indiana and nationwide. My personal respect and gratitude goes out to all of you for all you have done and all you will do in the coming year. Have a great convention. God bless you. God bless the American Legion and the United States of America. Have a great convention.
Thank you. At this time, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce for remarks my counterpart, President of the Indiana American Legion Auxiliary, Peggy Bishop. Peggy.
We didn't mean to wake you up.
I kind of hesitated when I got up here because anytime I see Hugh standing up looking at me, I run.
You ran the wrong way.
I did. Yes, I really did. I'm really going to miss you. I know you're leaving and I'm leaving because when I go into the office, I love to irritate him. And I'm so good at it, aren't I?
Past master.
I want to thank you all for allowing me to come and speak to you this morning. The biggest thing I want to do is thank you for this gentleman. It has been a wonderful year. He was saying yesterday he had traveled, 35,000 miles? 32,000. I beat you. I have 36, almost 37. But then I live a lot further away than you do. But I have enjoyed my year. Commander May and we have crossed paths, I don't even know how many times. I have enjoyed being with him and Commander Schultes. Well, okay, with him. But But I hope that today, if the way it started out, I'm sure your convention is going to go wonderful. I was very honored to be asked to participate in your memorial service today. I've seen it on occasion, but I've never participated, and I was very honored. And so I want to thank you all for allowing me to do that. And I want to give this gentleman a big hug. And my girls have started our session, so if after I hug him, if you will excuse me, I'm going to go to work.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you, Madam President. It's been a real pleasure to serve alongside with you this year. Let's give the Department President another big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the Legionnaires of the Indiana are very proud to have a strong, active detachment of the Sons of the American Legion. Its members are generous with their time and their money. And as well, you know, much of what we accomplish could not be done without their support and hard work of the Sons. I'm very proud of them, and I'm proud to welcome the 2016-17 Indiana Sons of American Legion Detachment Commander Joe Schultes. Joe. Okay. At this time, I call the Department Adjutant for announcements and a prize drawing. You'll probably be short.
I can't believe I've been reduced to a filler, but I am. I have been lugging this thing around for about 2 weeks, and I have this to say to you. I have no idea how those protesters can throw these things at people. Even just lifting it threw out my shoulder. That wasn't true. My shoulder's fine. Don't worry, Gina. Everything's okay. This is a paver. This is a brick that represents the bricks that will be used to pave the entrance to the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame. You notice that this brick is engraved. This brick can be engraved with the symbol of the American Legion or any of the other veteran service organizations or the branch of service in which the veteran who is being honored by this paver served in. It also includes 4 lines of engraving, laser engraving, giving the name, period of service, whatever information someone who wants to honor a veteran wishes to have engraved. As a member of the Board of Directors of the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame, for which these pavers are being presented, I am encouraging you, not only as Legionnaires, but as friends of veterans, the parents and sons of veterans, the spouses, the other family members of veterans, as well as yourselves, to buy one of these. The price of one of these bricks is $100. These will be a perpetual part of the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame. The sooner you buy one of these, the better the chance of the veteran that you honor being in the circle of honor in the approach to the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame. Why? There is another reason you should buy this. Through your generosity and through the wisdom of the leadership of this organization, the American Legion donated a portion of the property that we purchased 3 years ago and provided a perpetual lease of that property on which to site the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame. So these bricks will become available within the next couple of weeks. They can be ordered online. The paving company, the provider of these pavers, will do the engraving based on the information that you provide, and you can pay for these things online. The paving company will provide a website We will provide a link. John, am I right? Yes, sir. John says I'm right, and that's a good career move, John. So, watch the American Legion Department of Indiana website over the next couple of weeks for information on how to order, and I encourage you to purchase these things, memorialize a beloved veteran, and make sure that his or her name is featured prominently in the entrance to the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame, which, by the way, is being constructed as we speak and should be completed by the end of September this year. And I think that's all I need to say about this right now. As long as I got the price right, because I went before another body and offered them at half price. If you hear that, put that down to just another mistake by the Department of Agriculture. It's $100. Don't try to buy one for $50. All right, I have no other announcements at this time, but I do think in order to retain the high level of popularity that I've enjoyed over the last 18 years, we ought to have a drawing here for some money, right? Commander's going to draw a number. The number is 755-232. $755-232. It's what? If it's not yours, you didn't win. Yeah, I think not having the number is your sign. You know, okay, we're going to try another one. $754-759. Is this not anybody else's either? Good, we're unanimous. There's a flaw in the plan here. I'm going to tell you, there's a flaw in the plan. I've got a box here of about 600 and some tickets. The $50 drawing is meant to encourage people to show up. I have drawn how many now? 4 or 5 over the last day and a half, and there are no takers. Where are our people? Where are they? I think we could do away with a $50 drawing, don't you?
I think we ought to make it 100 and they'll show up.
Oh, the commander says we ought to make it 100 and then maybe you'll show up. I'll leave that to the new administration. 755-248. Well, we're going to hold in abeyance any further frivolity, and we're going to move on with our business. We'll draw 2 more later on this morning sometime. So encourage your friends and neighbors to show up.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Again, it's my great pleasure to introduce the Sons of the Legion Detachment of Indiana 2016-17. Detachment Commander and his entourage, Joe Schultes. Joe.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. This year has been truly an honor and a privilege for me to represent the Department of Indiana as the Sons of the American Legion Detachment Commander, and I thank you all for allowing me to represent you as such. Commander, it's been a privilege working with you.
Thank you.
I couldn't imagine doing anything with anybody else. Thank you. Really, it's been great. You know, I got my head shaved this year. It's cool when you don't have any hair up top.
I know.
Oh, okay. But you know what? We raised $110,000 this year, the Sons did, for Child Welfare Foundation. Total for the whole state, we raised over $132,000 for Child Welfare Foundation. So that, and I mean, that includes the Legion, the Auxiliary, the Sons, 40 and 8, everybody within the state. So amazing job. It's definitely an all-time high. Once again this year, we also reached an all-time high in our membership for the Sons. So thank you all for all you do. I know there's so many dual members in here and so many of you that help to promote the Sons and the auxiliary. You know, we're here to help you guys in any way. And again, I'm so humbled by all your hospitality this year, and I thank you all very much. I'd like to now introduce our NE Seaman, Mike Pfeiffer.
Thank you. Good morning. The Sons have a special guest visiting us this weekend. He hails from the state of Nebraska. He's been a member of the Sons of the American Legion for more than 40 years. His eligibility stems from his father's service in the U.S. Air Force during the Korean War. Out in the real world, he works in the construction industry. His wife of 43 years, both of their children, both of their grandchildren are all card-carrying members of the American Legion family. In just about 1 month, we will be gathering in Reno, Nevada for the National Convention, and we fully expect this gentleman will be elected our National Commander of the Sons of the American Legion at that time. Would you please give a warm Hoosier welcome to the SAL National Commander leading candidate, Danny Smith.
Oh, good morning, Indiana. Good morning. Thank you so kindly for that warm welcome. But to be honest, I should stand and applaud you for what you do for this organization, what you've done for this country. It's truly amazing. Commander May, department officers, national representatives, district post officers, delegates to this convention. You know, I'm sure you're all aware that it was nearly 100 years ago that a group of World War veterans got together with an idea to create a veteran service organization that would see to the needs of their comrades and those families of those that had answered the final call. An organization that would promote Americanism, provide services to their community, develop the children and youth of this country. And today we refer to that organization as the American Legion. Since that time, the American Legion has added partners in service, the American Legion Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, and most recently, the American Legion Riders. You know, I find it interesting that all three of our organizations contain these words near the beginning of their preamble to their Constitution. We associate ourselves together. And if you think about that, that's what this organization is all about. Supporting and helping one another with the ideals and principles on which the American Legion was founded. To me, there is no greater feeling than being able to help a veteran, to develop the children of this country, and of course promote Americanism. So I ask you today, do we truly believe those words that we recite in our preambles? I hope we do. We associate ourselves together. And I believe there's also some other language in that preamble that goes something like mutual helpfulness. And I hope that you look to the Sons of the American Legion to help you support those ideals and principles on which the American Legion was founded. And seek us out when you need help, because that's what we're there for. We are there to assist in carrying on for God and country, as it states in our preamble. So I wish you all well with your convention this year. I hope to be able to serve you in the future, not only as your possible next national commander of the Sons of the American Legion, but in any way I possibly can. You know, I grew up during the Vietnam War, and I turned 18 like many of you, and I registered for the draft. And I felt at the time that I was fortunate that, you know, I wasn't selected. And maybe that was because of all the turmoil that was going on, you know, anybody that lived through those times, it was a difficult time. What the media publicized and the way that individuals in this country reacted to that war. And I think it inspired me to do more. The fact that I did not serve this country in the military. I feel that I owe a debt of gratitude to everyone that has. And I truly believe that, and I've been living that for over 30 years, volunteering at our Eastern Nebraska Veterans Home. And anyone that has ever volunteered at a facility like that, whether it's a veterans home or a VA facility, knows what I'm talking about. There's just a feeling of, I'm not sure how to put it, gratitude to me to be able to serve someone that has laid their life on the line for this country. And I truly appreciate that, and my family appreciates that. So to those of you that did serve this country and never received the dignity and the respect that you surely deserve, I say thank you, God bless you, and welcome home. To all of you, thank you for what you do for this organization. It truly is appreciated. God bless all of you, God bless America, and God bless the American Legion family. Thank you.
Before we get into more awards, I'd like to welcome a special speaker. Sergeant Major Harold G. Overstreet assumed the post as the 12th Command Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps on June 28, 1991, where he served until 1995. Sergeant Major Overstreet entered the Marine Corps in June 1966 and completed recruit training at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California, followed by basic infantry training school at Camp Pendleton, California. Upon completion of school, he reported to the staging battalion at Camp Pendleton for further assignment to the 1st Military Police Battalion, 3rd Marine Division, Republic of Vietnam. Returning to the States, he was reassigned to the Infantry Training Regiment at Camp Pendleton. He served in many critical leadership capacities throughout his career, made important changes, and earned many accolades along the way. Sergeant Major Overstreet's personal decorations include the Meritorious Service Medal, Navy Commendation Medal, Navy Achievement Medal, and the Combat Action Ribbon. Sergeant Major Overstreet.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hoorah! Hoorah! Thank you. Thank you. Please take a seat. Thank you. Thank you, sir, and I'm glad you didn't read that whole bio, and I'm glad you looked at the one that doesn't have everything on there. So I hate it when my bio is longer than my speech, if you know what I'm saying. And what I would like to say to all of you is I bring greetings from your Legionnaires in Texas. So thank you for the great state of Indiana. Thank you. Commander, do you know why cowboys turn down the bill of their hat? They keep the sun off their eyes. You know how come they turn it down in the back? Keep the rain from running down the back of your neck. How about the reason we roll it up on the side? You know that? No idea. That's so 3 of us can ride in a compact truck at the same time.
All right.
Hey, I am glad to be here. Thank you for your kind invitation. And I know who you are. I'm proud of who you are. I was getting ready to go to a mess night one night, and I was a keynote speaker. My wife comes in, and she goes, Sergeant Major. Oh, by the way, she does call me Sergeant Major. She goes, Sergeant Major, what are you going to talk about? And I said, well, I'm not for sure. She goes, really?
I said, no, not really. She goes, well, you'll do just fine. And I said, why is that? And she says, because that's your kind. And I go, what do you mean that's my kind? You know, all those Huyas, those Marines and sailors, those veterans. She said, that's your tribe. I said, my tribe? What do you mean my tribe? She said, all those that love America, that serve their country, and will do anything for it. She says, that's your people. You know, when I say that I know who you are, probably unbeknownst to her, she gave me the greatest accolade, the greatest compliment that could ever be paid to me. Because I do know who you are, and you are my tribe. And I thank you for what you've done. And I tell people every day when I get an opportunity to, that they sleep good every night because of what you did and what our young servicemen and women continue to do today. So thank you very much. I do know who you are, and I appreciate you. I love telling Congress that too. As a matter of fact, this is probably the first year in at least 25 years that I have not testified before Congress. For the past 13 years, I've been the president of the Non-Commissioned Officers Association, and like one of your delegates said up here earlier today, many of us belong to every organization out there. I rode with your Legionnaires to the convention. I'm going to try to ride with them again this year. I've done a lot of things with your fellow and with all the other organizations out there too, because you know, when there's an issue in Congress and each one of us get counted for it, hey, I want to be counted as a Legionnaire. I want to be counted as a VFW. I want to be counted as a DAV. I want to be counted as NCOA. I want to get as many counts up there as I can, because if it's worthwhile, we need to know people, we need to let them know who we are, and we're willing to stand up for it. So, you know, I think that is very important, and I think Congress needs to know that, and we can't tell them that enough. As an old guy, I hate change. I do. I hate change. I get in my routine, and I love to do the same old thing, but that's not healthy, and we can't do that today. We as Legionnaires, we as servicemen and women, we can't do that today. How many things have you seen change lately? I asked you this. I see a lot of my contemporaries in here. How many of you were in Vietnam? Yeah. Hey, God bless you. Welcome home, brothers. How much of the armament today are we using today that you used in Vietnam? You know, zero. You got it. In my service, I was a Marine. In my service, we use one thing, a K-bar. That's it. Other than that, everything else has changed. Everything has changed. And if you look at where we're going, how about that? We're changing the pay system. You know, I testified before that. I'm sure, and the Legion did as well. We testified about, you know, why are we changing the pay? Should we change the pay? I mean, for those, we're changing the medical system. We're changing everything. We have to change. We have to adapt. And I hate it. But once again, we have to do that. World War II, we had a rifle shoot 60 rounds a minute. Today, we shoot 600 rounds a minute. Is that a change? Is that better? Is it worse? I don't know. Like I said, the only thing that I have left is that OK bar. You seen last week, how many of you seen that the Secretary of Defense and General Dunford, General Mattis and General Dunford were up there saying, we're going to have another round of BRAC, base closures and realignment, because we got too many old buildings that we're paying for that we can't afford anymore. Is that good? Well, it's going to be a change. How about the Secretary of the VA? The last Secretary, Bob McDonnell, said, hey, we got to get out of these old buildings. The VA's got to get out of these old buildings. But that's not an easy thing to do. You know where we stand on that. They got lead-based paint. They got asbestos in them. I mean, we can let them stand there and fall down till they rot down. But where are we going with this thing? We might as well do it now, because it's going to be cheaper now than it is going to be later on. Change. We got to change. We don't want to do that. And I can tell you, being a Marine, there's nothing so permanent in the Marine Corps as a temporary building. You know, if we put up a temporary building, we're going to keep it forever, because, you know, we're never going to get another one. So we're going to keep it as long as we can. That's the mentality that we come from. but we got to embrace change. We're going to have to make some changes. I have a good friend that's down in Florida. As a matter of fact, he's a commander of one of the VFWs down there. And it's hard to change. It's hard for us to change sometime. And they had an old VFW back there, and they put in a brand new road, a couple of intersections right in front of their post. And so a major drugstore chain came along and said, you know, we'd like to buy that. As a matter of fact, what we'll do is we'll build you a whole new building. You draw the plans for it, and we'll build you a brand new building if you will trade us that land for this building. And they go, well, that sounds like a good idea. So they did that. They said, we'll put you back there by the lake. It'll be beautiful. You build it any way you want to, but we want that property up there on that intersection. I don't know if it's CVS or one of these others. So sure enough, they did that. They changed it. So as they go into the new building, they said, we're going to do some changes. They said, you know, one of the changes, just one of the changes is there's going to be no smoking in our new building. And of course, you know how we are. Oh, no, hey, you can't do that. No smoking, we're not going anymore. And we're going to die, and it's going to quit. You know, today, they have a much bigger post, and they have families that are coming. They have kids that are coming in there. They have all of those folks that are coming in there that never would go there before, because when you walked in there, it looked like Hernando's Hideaway. You couldn't see from one end to the other in there. And you know what I'm talking about. You know, I happen to be the chairman of the Naval Home when we said there's no more smoking in government facilities. Oh my God, you should have seen all the arrows that were stuck in my chest from all the residents there. You know, sometimes you just have to embrace change. Sometimes change is going to come, so what are we going to do with it? If you know what I'm saying. And sometimes change is good and sometimes it's not. I don't want to change those things that made us great. I don't want to change those things that made us who we really are. And to give you an idea with that, when I was a Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, the Commandant and I went on a WestPac, and we went to Korea, and we went to Japan, and Okinawa, and Philippines, and all around the Pacific Rim out there. And it was a 10-day trip, and on the end of the 10-day trip, we were going back to Washington, and we went into Haiti. The very next day, I had to testify before Congress. So I'm testifying, and of course that's a long, rigorous trip, and I probably wasn't as chatty as I normally am. And one of the congressmen said, Sergeant Major Overstreet, he said, tell me. He said, all you guys up here griping and complaining about you have to do more with less, you're changing all the time. He said, is the Marine Corps changing that much? And I said, well, Mr. Congressman, I said, that's one question, but it has two answers. He goes, what do you mean it has two answers? I said, are we changing? We are changing every day. As new equipment, as new techniques, as new weapons platforms, as new everything comes in, I said we're changing people every day. As all those new techniques come into the inventory, we owe our Marines and sailors the best equipment and the best training that money can buy, and particularly if we're going to send them to a combat situation. So are we training? Are we changing? We're changing every day. I said, now, thank you. Now, are we changing? I said, let me give you a clue. 200 years ago from the day that I was testifying, a little over, I said the Marine Corps COMSHOD, a Navy COMSHOD, a civilian ship. We changed the name of it to the USS Wasp. This is over 200 years ago. We sailed it down off the coast of Haiti with a battalion of embarked Marines for a real-world mission. 200 years ago. I said yesterday I was aboard the USS Wasp off the coast of Haiti with a battalion of embarked Marines. Some things just don't change. If you know what I'm saying. We keep doing the same old thing over and over and over again, do we not? But yet we're changing because the equipment changed. The Wasp that I was on don't look anything like the original Wasp that was down there 200 years ago. So are we changing? You bet we're changing. There's a lot of changes that's going on. One change I'd like to point out to you very quickly is I got some friends here from Veteran Funeral Care that's sitting down here. I'd like to tell you about a change that's quickly coming. and it's really kind of snuck up on us because we always want to, I'm an old guy, hey, I don't want to change, I want to do the same old stuff. But you got to look at the facts. Just at least look at the facts, because I think it would be advantageous to you. I have a friend that he was out in San Diego, and he come to visit me in Washington, D.C. Matter of fact, he's a former Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, too. He was the Ninth Sergeant Major. His name is L.D. Crawford, Crow Crawford. And Sergeant Major Crawford came and visited with me, and he was going to, like all us Marines, we like to kind of weasel around and visit with all our friends, and he was there in Washington, D.C., and he's going to go down the East Coast. He's going to stop at Cherry Point and Camp Lejeune and Parris Island before he goes back to San Diego where he lives. Well, he had been visiting me, with me and all the folks there in Washington, D.C., and they were in their motorhome, and he and Faye, his wife, were started down the East Coast, and they didn't even make it down to Cherry Point, and Sergeant Major got sick. He had to go, he told his wife, Faye, he said, I need to go home. I'm really feeling poorly, and I need to go home. So, and he's from West Virginia, that's the way they talk, I'm feeling poorly. So they started home, they get to San Diego, and his wife is talking to my wife, and I'm doing that Sergeant Major stuff, running all over the world and, you know, talking to Marines and stuff like that. And he gets very bad very quickly. He gets sick. So I go into my admin chief, Gunny Crane, and I say, hey, Gunny, get me a flight going to San Diego. Let's look at the schedule, and the first opportunity I have, let's get a flight going to San Diego. He said, okay. So I flew out there. I called the depot sergeant major at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, and I say, Mike McGraw, and I say, hey, Mike, I said, I'm coming into San Diego, and I'm going to do this and that and that. So he met me at the airport. You know, he goes, okay, Sergeant Major, says, what do you want to do? I said, this is what I want to do. It was early on Monday morning. I'd flown from Washington to San Diego, and I said, I want to go check into my room, hang my trash up. I want to go to the barbershop, get a haircut, and then I want to go out and see Sergeant Major Crawford because he lived right there in San Diego. He goes, well, Sergeant Major, he said, I have all the staff NCOs. I have a staff call today, and I got all the staff NCOs coming into the staff club at lunch, and it was almost lunchtime then. He said, I got the general in there. He said, how about coming over and telling us what's going on in the Corps, the latest in the Corps today? And I said, great, I'll do that. So I go in there, and so I get in there, and we're gripping and grinning. I get a haircut. We get over to the club. I'm gripping and grinning with some of these guys, you know. We're chatting. We sat down to lunch. The general's sitting on one side of me. The sergeant major sitting on the other side. We're sitting there, and the aide comes in and says something to the general. And the general leans over to me, and he said, Sergeant Major, he said, Sergeant Major Crawford just passed away. Crap. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. He said, what do you want? I said, well, sir, I need a ride. He said, take my vehicle, take my driver, do whatever you need to do. It's yours. He said, whatever we need to do is at your command. So I went out there, and Sergeant Major Crawford and Faye was the only two there. We were the first ones that she had called. She goes, Gene, I don't know what to do. I said, Faye, I don't either, but we'll figure it out. So next day we went to the funeral home, as most people do, and hey, we love Sergeant Major Crawford. You can tell I get emotional about this. And we bought the best of everything you can buy. We bought the most expensive casket. We bought the most expensive this. We bought the best of everything because we love this guy. And the funeral director got a call that he had to take. And so we were looking at the registration books and stuff that we're looking at. And we're over there kind of talking amongst ourselves. And I told Faye, I said, you know, Faye, we're just screwed up. She goes, what do you mean? I said, you know, Sergeant Major's up there looking at us. And he goes, you know, I thought I taught those two knuckleheads better than that. I know he was. He probably saying something a little worse than that. But she goes, what do you mean? I said, you know, Sergeant Major didn't drive a Cadillac. He drove an Oldsmobile. He drove a F-150 Ford pickup. I said, that's who he was. He would sit down with a lowest private in the organization and communicate very well with him on a footlocker. Or he could go to Congress and he could talk to those guys. That's just who he was. I said, I think we've done this all wrong. I don't think he would want us to spend all this money, and I know he wouldn't want you to be spending all this money on this because he'd want you to have this money to live on. She said, well, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to start over. We're going to erase what we've done up to now, and we're going to start over. She goes, you think so? I said, yeah, I think so. So we did that. So the funeral director come back, and I said, you know, all the stuff that we picked out, forget that. We're going to start over. He goes, well, you know, Brother Carl, all right, that's what we're going to do. We're starting over. So we go back to the beginning, and we start over, and we did a beautiful funeral for him. We did it. All the stuff was great, but probably at 1/3 or 1/4 of the price, if you know what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you, when it comes to funerals, if you're interested in doing it right with honor, respect, and dignity at a much cheaper cost, these are the guys that you need to talk to and look at. Like I said, am I telling you to change? I'm not telling you to change. I'm telling you to look at the facts. Just simply look at the facts. And I think the facts is going to speak for themselves. Now, the last thing I'm going to tell you is the first time I went to Okinawa, one of my old company gunnies had made Sergeant Major. And he goes, hey, he said, I know when you come in the gate at Camp Hansen, he said, you're going to go right by my battalion. And he said, I know you love NCOs. And he said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to stop there and talk to all my Marines. He said, if you will do that, I will let the NCOs run everything out there. I'll put all the staffing officers in the back. They won't have nothing to say, nothing to do with it. Have a big sign up there that says, Welcome Sergeant Major Overstreet, hanging from 2 Bay City cranes. And sure enough, there it was. Well, I'm supposed to be down in the Depot Theater talking to the entire division down there, and we go by, and here's her out there. So I stop. I'm up there. I mean, at that point in time, there's so much going on in the Marine Corps that you can't tell it all. So I'm telling these guys, hey, I got to get down to the theater here. And they're trying to drag me off. And just as they're dragging me off and trying to shut the hatch on the vehicle and drive me down to the theater, a young Marine appeared at the door of the thing. He goes, Sergeant Major, he said, I'm sorry I didn't have anything to write on because I told them all to take a page out of your platoon sergeant notebook, and if there's a question that you need answered, write it down, make sure your name and address is on there, and I'll get back with you. And this young Marine was there, and he goes, Sergeant Major, he says, I apologize, I didn't have anything to write on. And he had written me a note on a $1 bill. So I'm telling you this morning, if you want to write me a note about a question, there's an easy way to prioritize it. Indiana, thank you very much. God bless for what you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll write you a message on a quarter.
Yeah, quarter. Yeah, he's going to give me a quarter. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I say something? Because I'm so short, I can break the rules, I guess. And I've asked the commander to let me break one of the rules, and that is take a point of personal privilege. Sergeant Major Overstreet and just brought this to my mind when he casually mentioned the veterans funeral care. Let me tell you something. 5 years ago, on the 12th of February, my oldest son died. I did not expect my son to die on February 12th, but the first phone call I made was to David Ring. On Sunday morning, less than 12 hours after my son passed away, David Ring was in my home. And from that point forward, what the Sergeant Major described is exactly the steps that we followed, because I can tell you, I was going to buy a $50,000 casket. I was going to pay for every single thing that you could imagine for my son. And David Ring says, I don't think you want to do that. Think about this. It was the kind of guidance that in that time has no price that you can put on it. The Veterans Funeral Care in Indiana has been one of the most reliable and generous business partners of this organization that I think we've ever encountered. I encourage you not because they make money, because they can make a whole lot more money doing funerals the way funerals are done today, but they don't do that. They consistently provide the kind of service that honors your loved ones appropriately and with dignity and at a cost that your loved one would approve of and that benefits you. I encourage you, if ever you are faced with that kind of a need, that you contact David Ring and his staff, or you contact the department headquarters. I think literally, David, there are thousands of people in the state of Indiana who have already taken advantage. You know what else they do? You know, we have American flags, tattered, torn, unserviceable. You know what happens to many of those flags? They are treated with honor. They are folded into the traditional form, and they are placed on the casket or the container. I don't know how they do these things. But these flags are burned with honor and dignity as the remains of a veteran are cremated. There's no charge for that, and there's no price to be put on that. I just want to tell you, from personal experience and from the point of view of your adjutant and someone who cares very much about you, use their services anytime you need them. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce the Hoosier Boys State Director, Bob Oath, for an introduction and a few presentations. Bob.
Thank you, Commander. It's with a great deal of pride that I take the opportunity to introduce the outstanding young men from this year's 2017 Hoosier Boys State program. First, I'd like to recognize all you district enrollment chairmen and the district workers for an outstanding supporting of this year's delegates to Hoosier Boys State. Although we had a decline this year in our program in numbers, I know next year we can do better and will. We would love for our post to sponsor even more young men to attend this life-changing program. Let's give all of our district enrollment chairmen and yourselves, the supporters of our program, an applause for such a great year this year sending delegates to the program. Thank you all. Please join with me in watching a short feature video highlighting this year's Boys State program. This video was produced by the Department of Indiana's Communication Office. So could we have the video, please?
Indiana was one of the 8 American Legion departments to start the Boys State program in 1937. This year we're proud to celebrate the 80th anniversary year of Hoosier Boys State. It has been truly a week to change a lifetime.
Boys State is a program sponsored by the American Legion, Department of Indiana, about government and politics. We learn Indiana's government at the 3 levels, the state, the county, and the city government structures. We develop a political party structure. They develop a slate of candidates. We have elections. We have debates. We have rallies. All the things that we do in real life.
You know, one of the things you might think is this is character building. To a degree it is, but most of these young men are great characters and have great characters. And that's what you appreciate. They come here for a reason, and they take this and suck up all the education and knowledge they can and take take it back to their own communities and hopefully make their communities better.
I just encourage every high school in Indiana to work with their American Legion posts in town to make sure that the full complement of young men that they can send to this great organization and experience on an annual basis have the chance to do that. I had the great opportunity of coming out of the Huntington community in 1976, attended Hoosier Boys State when it was back down in Terre Haute. Had no idea that I would end up in elected office, but it was one of those things that helped me understand the process in a soul head-on immersion at a very young age, and it kind of stuck to me when at the age of 51 I decided to run for mayor. So it's a great experience.
What a great opportunity for him to spend a week and really learn not only a lot about government, but about leadership.
Hoosier Boys State is an opportunity of a lifetime. If you ever have a chance to attend Hoosier Boys State, take that as soon as possible. If you are looking for success in your life and you want to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone that achieves great things in life, then Hoosier Boys State is a door that will open many things in life and is highly recommended.
It's been a great week. I thank you all so much for the support, the memories, and for the kind words I've gained throughout this week. God bless you all. Have a wonderful summer. I hope we're in contact again soon. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one key, a few short words that the mayor of Huntington mentioned there. We must grace the doors of our local high schools if we're going to increase the enrollment to this program. You know, and without us doing that, as with a lot of other programs, it's going to diminish. So it's up to all of us to go out, knock on the doors of these high schools, homeschoolers, and to recruit our delegates. At this time, it gives me an honor to introduce a few of our award winners from this year's program. Peyton Thomas, Jackson Kaiser, you want, I'm sorry, down front here to start with. There you go. Hold up on the, Commander, if you would, hold up just a second on that. We're kind of ad-libbing here. Eason Vernack, Dalton Thompson, and Joseph Bergen. Is that all we got back there? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, these are just a few of our award winners this year at the program. So, and I will introduce them in their particular offices as we go on here. As I say, it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you our Hoosier Boys State Governor this year from Post 18 in the 7th District, and this was not planned. It just worked out that way. The first time that we've ever known that we have a governor and a department commander from the same post and same district. So, furthermore, Peyton Thomas, the voice, our governor of Hoosier Boys State. Peyton, would you take the microphone, please? Thank you, Governor.
Good morning. I'd like to start by saying that it's a distinct honor and privilege to be in front of you today and to talk about my own personal experience with Hoosier Boys State. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I got there my first day, I saw the tagline, "A week to shape a lifetime." I was skeptical. It seemed like hype to me. But it's funny in a way. Just a couple odd weeks later, my time at Hoosier Boys State and as its governor has significantly changed my life. But if it weren't for institutions like these, like the American Legion, who have given me, and so many others like me, the opportunity to have this experience, I wouldn't be here in front of you today. When I stood on that debate stage that Wednesday morning, and I looked out at the sea of faces before me, and I said that my fellow men do not live in the American dream, that the American dream lived in them. I didn't say that because it sounded nice or because it helped my campaign, though it did. I said it because at that point, I realized something. Your generation has redefined the American dream. When John F. Kennedy had said that the torch has been handed down to a new generation of Americans, this is what he meant. It was your generation that has laid the groundwork for my generation's opportunity and future success. And for that, I am deeply humbled and completely honored. Thank you all so much. God bless.
The commander will present you with a plaque. If you was around him all week, you know why he's nicknamed The Voice. Thank you, Peyton, and congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in the future being a very successful young man. For much of the 20th century, one Legionnaire in particular dedicated himself to these young men and helping build their future. His name was Barney W. Breedlove. In honor of his service, we present the Barney W. Breedlove Trophy to the Hoosier Boys State Outstanding Citizen. This year, this young man is Eason Vernack. He is from the 1st District. Eason? Come to the podium, Eason.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I would first just like to thank all of the American Legion and Hoosier Boys State for making this event possible and offering this great opportunity for high school students to further that knowledge that they learn in the classroom in a real-world experience. And certainly, I've learned a lot through many of my American Legion experiences. First, I've competed in the American Legion oratory that has really taught me a number of skills of how to write a speech and practice a speech and ultimately deliver it. But also, this American Legion Boys State experience has had a profound effect on me and certainly will be that week to change a lifetime. I've met countless individuals throughout the American Legion that have had a lasting effect on me. They've invested in my own personal growth and certainly have made a number of reasons why I've really grown as a person and seen what politics are really like. In fact, as throughout much of my American Legion Boys State experience, I learned how to compromise and make deals and really how that backbreaking experience of how to work with others in order to get things accomplished that I feel like is happening in the real world right now with healthcare. And so as I learned a lot through American Legion, I would really just like to thank all of you for putting on this program and most importantly by allowing me to meet many of my fellow delegates and meet countless other individuals that have had an impact on my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Beeson not only will receive the Breedlove Trophy and was named Outstanding Citizen, but also receives a $3,000 scholarship. And as our being selected as our Outstanding Citizen, will attend Boys Nation next week, is it? Yeah, 21st, in Washington, D.C. And going with him to Washington, D.C., Mr. Dalton Thompson. Dalton, would you like to say a few words?
First of all, I would just like to say another thank you to the American Legion, to all of you before us who served our country and continue to serve your community. It's going to be an honor to represent Indiana at Boys Nation. Boys State was a really incredible experience. Going as a high schooler in Indiana today, you don't see the same commitment to God, the same commitment to the country that I think you saw in past generations. So to be immersed in a week where you were committed to the country, where you saw American traditions, where there was just a sense of fraternity, a sense of brotherhood. I have friends that I made that week that I'm still in contact to a month later, friends that I intend to stay in contact with for a long time. And so I just would have to thank my local poster sponsor me, 155, and all of American Legion for just the great opportunity they present to high schoolers in Indiana. Thank you.
Dalton, the commander has a plaque for you also. Another one of our political candidates that was voted into place, Jackson Kaiser, our Lieutenant Governor. Jackson?
Good morning. Thank you all very much for the opportunity to be here today. It's a distinct honor to be in front of the American Legion and represent such a great program such as Hoosier Boys State. The slogan is "A week to shape a lifetime," and I can tell you that holds true. I've learned more things from Hoosier Boys State than I've gotten out of any other program that I've attended. And I want to thank the American Legion. I want to thank the post that sponsored me, Waynedale, for the distinct honor. So thank you all very much. Thank you for investing in your community. Thank you for investing in the youth. And I look forward to continuing my service to this great country and learning from all of you. So thank you very much.
And we have one more of our award winners with us today. He was a recipient of a McHale Scholarship of $800. There was 3 of those awarded out up there. Joseph Bergen. Joseph?
Good morning. Before I can fully express the gratitude I have for the American Legion and Trine University for providing young men like myself with this opportunity, I would like to recognize the person who this scholarship was named after. Frank McHale was a Hoosier, a veteran, and a true public servant. As many of you are aware, Frank was a man who dedicated his life to serving our country, helping to dismantle hate groups like the KKK in our state, loving God, and working hard. Frank's lifelong commitment to serving people and promoting citizenship is something I hope I can mirror as I enter adulthood. Boys State was an opportunity for me to hone in my interests in public service and meet lifelong friends. I am honored to have received the scholarship in light of unfortunate circumstances my family has endured. I have learned that no challenge is insurmountable. Thank you to the American Legion and the gentlemen who supported me in this process.
So ladies and gentlemen, there you see just an example, and our political, our governor, lieutenant governor, and scholarship winners. So once again, a big round of applause for these young men. Commander, this concludes my portion of the presentation. I want to take this time to thank you and the department for allowing me such a great honor to be a part of this great program.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you again, O. I think you've got an outstanding program up there, and as you see, this is our future right there. So let's give them another hand. Now we'll announce the American Legion Family Scholarship recipients. I'd like to call on the Children and Youth Commission Chairman, Alan Conley, to announce the 2017 recipients. Alan?
Commander, if you would make your way to the lower stage, and if John Lloyd, if you're present, would you please join him there? This scholarship was established by past Department Commander John Mahowski, who devoted his year to raising a permanent endowment from which funds for scholarships could be earned by investment. The program has been very successful and is open to children and grandchildren of Legion, Auxiliary, and SAL members. A key provision is that the scholarship must be used at an Indiana institution of higher learning and that applicants must be 21 or younger. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 7 scholarships for $1,500 to announce this year. And they are Emily Bradley, District 3. Emily is eligible for this scholarship through her grandfather, John Erickson, who served in the Sons of the American Legion. She is from Rolling Prairie, where she attended New Prairie High School. Emily was active on the school's basketball team, where she played all 4 years. She plans to attend Trine University in Angola, where she will pursue her bachelor's degree in forensic science. Congratulations. Our second scholarship award winner is Emily Lyford from District 7. She is eligible for this scholarship through her grandmother, Sue Lyford Freeman, who is a member of the Women's Auxiliary. Emily is from Unionville, where she attended Bloomington North High School. She was active in varsity softball, where she played all 4 years. She plans to attend Indiana University, where she will pursue her bachelor's degree in nursing. Our next recipient is Autumn Lopez from the 4th District. She is eligible for this scholarship through her grandfather, Oscar Lopez, who is a member of the American Legion. She is from Fort Wayne, where she attended Wayne High School. She was active on the tennis team, where she played all 4 years. She plans to attend the University of St. Francis, where she will pursue a bachelor's degree in business. Next, Carter Moldenhauer from District 3. Carter is eligible for this scholarship through his grandfather, William Knox, who is a member of the American Legion. Carter is from Michigan City, where he attended Marquette Catholic High School. He was active in varsity tennis and varsity baseball. He plans to attend Bethel College or Purdue Northwest to pursue his bachelor's degree in nursing. He's not here. Yeah, let's give him a hand. Lori Ubelor from District 8 is our next recipient. She is eligible for this scholarship through her grandfather, Morris Beckman, who is a member of the American Legion. Lori is from Ferdinand, Indiana, but currently attends Indiana University, Purdue University, IUPUI in Indianapolis, where she is pursuing her master's degree in occupational therapy. And finally, there were two recipients, actually three, who couldn't be here today, but we want to share their information with you. They will receive their awards at a later date. And they are Jack Brown from District 1. Jack is eligible for this scholarship through his father, Kenneth Brown, who is a member of the Sons of the American Legion. Jack is from Crown Point, where he attended Lake Central High School. He was active on the school's basketball team, where he played 3 years. He plans to attend Ball State University, where he will pursue his bachelor's degree in nursing. That's good. And finally, Corin Kraft from District 8. Corin is eligible for this scholarship through her grandfather, Philip Handel, who is a member of the American Legion. Corin is from Jasper, where she attended Jasper High School. She was active in school sports as well as volunteering for the Head Start track team for special needs children. She plans to attend the University of Southern Indiana, where she will pursue her bachelor's degree in elementary education. Let's give all of our bright young recipients another round of applause. Next, I am privileged to announce an award that recognizes one of the fastest growing programs in the American Legion Riders. With the American Legion Riders Committee Chairman Ron Patton, please join the commander on the lower stage to present this award. This group of Legion family members is untiring in its efforts to honor our fallen comrades, raise funds to benefit children and youth, and support the programs and concerns of the American Legion Department of Indiana. The mission of the American Legion Riders is to support the American Legion, and we believe no rider better exemplifies this than our 2017 Rider of the Year. He attends chapter and district meetings and participates as much as he can for the riders throughout the state, benefiting veterans and their families, and he has proven himself a leader among his peer riders. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mike Harper from Post 330 in New Haven, Indiana, in the 4th District. Congratulations, Mike. And Commander, thank you for the opportunity to announce it here this morning. You're up, Commander.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much. We certainly look forward to the good of the organization. I want to thank you and the other leaders for thinking about the Legionnaires and taking their time from their busy, productive schedule here to support our organizations. Oh, I missed one. At this time, I'd like to welcome a representative from Bosma Enterprises, President and Chief Executive Officer Lou Moneymaker, for a few words. Lou. goes to you then. Goes to you. Next page goes to you.
All right, we have been moving right along, and I hope that we don't get so far ahead that some people have been left out, but nevertheless, Commander May, if you would go down to the lower stage for just a few minutes. A number of your fellow Legionnaires the past 2 days or so have asked for an opportunity to make some special presentations to you. We're going to do them now. Any of you in the audience have a presentation to make, come on down. Please be brief in your presentations. Is there anyone out there at this point who has a presentation they'd like to make, either to the project or other contributions? Before you get started and before the first presentation, and we will do this again later after this session is over just because of the timing, but make sure that you clearly, slowly, and distinctly say who you are, who you represent, and what the check is for, please.
Working now? Okay. Commander. My name is John Hannon. I'm a post commander of 500 in Speedway, Indiana, and I want to present a check for $3,000 for the Indiana Sheriff's Law Enforcement Cadet Academy, the new program we have out by Brazil, Indiana.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Commander Ron Byerly with Post 200. We have a check for $500 for Operation Comfort Warrior, and from my wife and myself, another check for $100 for OCW.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you.
Commander Kurt Pfeiffer, on behalf of the 8th District, from our conference cornhole tournaments on Friday nights, we generated $1,300 for your commander's project.
All right. Thank you. Ivan.
Commander Mays, I'm the commander from 97, District 4. This is for your IVET program, and it's for $5,000.
All right. Whoa. Thank you.
Commander, this year my wife and I took on a little bit of a challenge within the 3rd District. We participated in the Indianapolis 500 mini marathon. We walked 13.1 miles and asked for pledges within the district. And I'm pleased to present with you today some checks for $150 from Post 83, a check for $131 for my wife and I, another check for $131 from American Legion 3rd District, and another check for $131 from Post 210. Prior to that, we had sent into the department from the American Legion Riders at Post 357, $131, from the Auxiliary of Post 143, $131, the Auxiliary of Post 210, $131, the Bristol American Legion Post 143, $150, the Bristol American Legion Riders, $300, Howard Langdon, a member of my post, $131. John Mayer, SAL member of our post, $10. Kingsford Heights Legion, Post 434, $131. New Carlisle, Post 297, $100. Paul Stewart, from Post 210, $131. Union Mills Legion, 295, $131. And the Union Mills SAL, $500, for a total of $2,522. Now, knowing that next year I'll be 73 and my wife will be 35 with 36 years seniority, we're going to undertake this again, and Commander Marty, the lead candidate, is working on a prize for the district that donates the most money next year. He'll have something special for them, so thank you.
And this is for IVETS, guys.
IVETS, yes it is, yep.
Slow down, Jack. Can I have the list?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I couldn't keep up with you.
Becky.
Commander Bucky Honecker from Post 44 Newburgh. I'd like to give you a check for $500 for Operation Comfort Warrior.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Commander Gene Owens from the 7th District. On behalf of the 7th District, a check to IVETS for $400.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good to see you again.
Yes, my pleasure. I'm here proudly representing District 6 and Post 198, which is Prison Post, Plainfield Correctional Facility, Heritage Trails, that is. And this is a Richard A. Blakely, Post 198, and this is for Operation Comfort Warrior for $500.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Over here. Oh my.
I'd like to present this small check. This was a lot of dancing for $4,050 for the Commander's Project, IVETS, our Post 180 in the 1st District in Highland, Indiana.
Thank you. Give her a hand. They had a big fundraiser. Right. Thank you.
It's all right. Your Bosma guy is here.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to welcome a representative from Bosma Enterprises, President and Chief Executive Officer Lou Moneymaker, for a few words. Lou.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Proud to be here this morning. I don't know if you know much about Bosma Enterprises, but we have a long history of supporting veterans here in our country. If you go to a vet hospital, the gloves, the examination gloves, surgical gloves, operating room changeover kits, and several other kits, we package at our company and provide those to the VA hospitals all across the United States. The unique thing about it is, however, all of those things that have Bosma Enterprises on them when you see them in the offices or the surgical rooms, wherever that may be, are packaged and distributed by people who are blind or visually impaired. That's what our company does. It's providing opportunities for people who are blind or visually impaired, and we do so by fulfilling any number of contracts for the government. VA is our biggest customer, and we're very proud to be able to support the veterans of this country with the work that we do at Bosma Enterprises. So with that having been said, and by the way, I'm a Post 331 member in Brownsburg, Indiana, have been for many years. So that having been said, I'd like to present $1,000 to the Commander's Project, IVETS, to the American Legion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's going to get one more. That's all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. thank you so much. At this time, I want to thank you so much. This certainly go towards many projects. Pardon?
Ask Mr. Moneymaker to return.
Mr. Moneymaker, can you return that one picture didn't come out?
Didn't know this was on the schedule.
Here, give me the top. Well, let's try it again. Let's go over here. All right, there you go. Okay. All right. Well, thank you again. Oh, that's all right. Again, thank you so much. This will certainly go towards good in this organization. I want to thank you and your leaders for thinking about the Indiana Legion and taking time from your busy, productive schedule to be here today. Supporting our disabled veterans remains a key involvement, and I want to commend you for what you did and what you do. The opportunities you provide our blind citizens who want to be part of our productive workforce. What we raised so far this morning was a total in donations of $18,772. Just to IVETS alone is $12,000. Thank you very much. Okay. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the gifts and the generosity. I assure you these funds will be used in a good intent. At this point, I believe our department adjutant has some more announcements and a prize drawing.
You know, I waited all day for the groans, and you know, the Sergeant Major Overstreet talked about change. There's some things I ain't never going to change in this outfit. No, I don't have any announcements for you. We pretty much told you everything that's going on. I'm going to tell you guys something, and you ladies, timing is everything. What you forget is I have the microphone, and I could give you a speech right now. Now, do you want to treat me with some respect, or you want to just... There we go. I get all the respect to which I'm entitled, don't I? Now, somebody be here. We're not leaving until we do this. 755-211.
That's got to be the winner.
754-828. The Department Judge Advocate made a suggestion earlier, and I rejected it out of hand. He said that any unclaimed check ought to be donated to the American Legion baseball program. I think that's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. We're just gonna, huh?
We're going to, yeah.
No, we're not doing that, Paul. Paul wanted to fix the drawing. We're not gonna do it, Paul. 755-089.
There we got one.
Bob who? Is that yours?
Come forward, please. Come. If you need
Oh,
it, you
man.
gotta get up, but don't speak.
No, don't let him have a mic. Shh, don't let him have a microphone.
He'd be worse than Hubert. I want to thank all the folks out there for making this possible.
Thank you. We got a winner.
We got one more that we want to do before we recess. And that would be 755-237. Gail, I think somebody's calling for you. You better go check out there in the hallway. Yes. All right, 754-673.
Got a winner over there. Come forward.
Come on, Denny. He's allowed to speak.
No. We're moving right on.
We're done with these. Gonna be a vice commander.
I know.
Maybe he'll donate it back.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him now. I need this. Well, you know what he said? You can donate that back.
Future officers have to donate their winnings back. To who?
To you. Thank you. Give him a hand. And now, there being no more business scheduled to come before this session of the convention, I'd like to ask Chaplain Kern to dismiss us with a benediction. Everybody please rise.
I think ending on time is a miracle itself. Let us pray. Gracious God, put your benediction upon us as we go to our various meals and fellowship. Bring us back safely, that we would give you praise in it all. We ask this in your divine name. Amen.
Amen. Recover. With the colors of our nation in place. 1, 2. We are in recess to 1 p.m.